You hear this one a lot. Science has proven evolution, therefore evolution is true.
Whoa, slow down there, bucko. I haven't even had a chance to get my head on straight. Damn. Okay, what's that? People say science has proven evolution, therefore it's true. Well, that's a strange thing to say. Science doesn't need to prove evolution for it to be true. It was true way before science was even a thing. I think what you mean is that evolution is true and science supports that conclusion. Because, you know, it would be really weird if it didn't.
Since evolution is true and Christians don't believe it, then Christians don't believe science and they aren't rational people.
What the hell are you talking about? Christians don't believe it. Loads of crimsbobs believe in evolution. I think what you mean is idiot creationist morons don't believe it, so they must not be rational people. Which is, well, true. But I get it. You've got to drag everyone else down with you, so it looks like there's more people who think the same utter trite as you do. But I'm not letting that happen, you sneaky little prick.
Really, let's put that claim to the test.
What, your claim? Well, your claim that people think all Christians are irrational because a few of the really dumb ones decided that everyone thinks the exact same shit as them is wrong because it's really goddamn stupid. And we know it's wrong and stupid through a very simple means of deduction. You said it. Ipso facto, it do dumb.
First off, evolution in the sense that things change is evident. No rational person disputes that.
Evolution doesn't mean things change. What the kind of empty, meaningless, weak-ass definition is that? Evolution means things adapt to their environment. And sometimes that means they don't change or barely change at all. And that they could technically even change back if environmental pressures made that the optimal thing to be. Hell, evolution even means things can effectively become the same or at least a very similar thing. I mean, you would be staggered by the amount of things that are categorically not crabs, but damn if those aren't copying someone's homework, eh?
Therefore, rational Christians believe it. We can observe change.
I would love to observe change in the things that creationists believe. And no, I don't mean pretending that things in reality fit your presupposed conclusions all along. I mean actually changing to truly fit explanations that do go along with reality. Evolution is not a process that affects answers in Genesis, it seems. No wonder they don't believe it.
But evolution in the sense that life came from non-life and then that life began to randomly generate new genetic information.
Sorry, what now? Evolution in the sense that life came from non-life? The hell are you talking about? That's not anything to do with evolution. What is it with you guys and your refusal to understand that abiogenesis is not explained by the theory of evolution? You know, it's almost like the definitions that you use and your understandings of science come from anywhere but scientifically literate sources.
And over time it eventually produced humans is something entirely different.
Listen. I get your point, but just because evolution produced filthy humans doesn't mean that it's not true. Because I know you guys think that evolution means things get better, and obviously humans are the antithesis to that. But that's just not how the Evolvey Boys works, unfortunately, and it can make things that are undesirable, as long as they have the capacity to out-survive anything else. Sad but true.
And something that quite honestly doesn't hold up against science.
Your misunderstanding of what evolution is doesn't stand up to scientific scrutiny? Well, blow me down with a feather. What a surprise that is. That the things an idiot thinks are what science says turn out to be not very scientific at all. Big shonk.
In other words, evolution in the sense of molecules to man.
I'm sorry, what exactly the hell was that sound effect?
Evolution in the sense of
That's so weird. I mean, of all the things that they could have chosen, it sounds like the guy having sex with the world's least interested bowl of pudding. Wish I could have that sound without his stupid voice on top, but what are you going to do?
It's not scientifically plausible and therefore should not be viewed as scientific fact.
Forgetting about your made-up straw man of what evolution is, yes, it is entirely plausible because, right, it happens, and that's about all there is to it. You sitting there and saying, it's ham fake cause me say so, not exactly what I would call convincing, and unless you can come up with some actual proof for that claim, preferably along the lines of an alternative idea that explains the evidence far better, I'm going to feel free to tell you to shut the fuck up. Not that you will, but you can't say I didn't try to help you.
Quite honestly, it is in great opposition to science.
Honestly, I already knew you didn't know what evolution means, but clearly you don't even know what honesty means either, since it's a word that creationists literally aren't allowed to use, especially when in reference to their own opinions, because it means saying things that are true on purpose, a thing that you guys are literally incapable of. It's a surprise that you are so bad at words.
That is, observational science, the kind of science we can test and repeat and use our five senses to understand.
See, what did I tell you about honesty and creative flaps? It's in opposition to this version of science that is not a definition that anyone who knows what science is and the breadth and depth of its application would ever use. You know, it's not good when you prove your point by having to make up new ways of defining things that no one else ever uses. Also, even if that was what it was, evolution is absolutely something that can be observed. So you fail even when you try to cheat and stack the deck in your favor. Not that impressive, buddy.
Science demonstrates that over time, living organisms lose genetic information. They don't gain it.
What does that even mean? And I thought you said evolution means change, not expand. So by your definitions, this doesn't even make sense. Since we aren't expecting an increase, we are expecting a difference. A thing that you said happens. So I'm really starting to get confused here. It's almost like you will say just about anything if you think it supports your point.
That same science demonstrates that life doesn't arise from non-life. Follow along if you would.
Jesus Christ, this is such horrid and confusing editing. Perhaps if you hadn't decided to try and destroy evolution in less than 3 minutes, you would have had time to do shit like that properly. Although to be fair, it's clear that you don't make good choices, seeing as, per usual, you think you can destroy a scientific field with more expertise, evidence, and experimentation behind it than you could even begin to comprehend. Which in your case is, you know, more than one of each. It's actually way more than that. And you think you have the capacity to come even close to refuting any of it. Much smarter people have tried with far longer to do it, and haven't even so much as scratched the idea. The arrogance to think that you could do any better is frankly staggering.
Fact 1. There is no known observable process by which new genetic information can be added to an organism's genetic code. None.
Well, forgetting the fact that humans have literally been doing that for quite a while now, there are several ways it is known to happen in nature, including duplication of DNA fragments where genes will become duplicated and multiplied, duplications of chromosomes, which while can cause issues, it absolutely produces more information. I'm probably going to screw this one up, but polyploidy, where cells might not be separated during certain functions, which can lead to a formation of new nucleuses with effectively double DNA, retroviruses and bacteriophages, which will insert new genetic information into a host DNA, and I'm sure that there's a lot more. But those are the ones I found after a whole 5 minutes of looking, and surprise, surprise, your relationship with the truth TM has been shown to be entirely fictional.
That pretty much refutes evolution right away, because there's no way to go from a fish to an amphibian without adding new information, right?
I guess. Shame it's a fucking lie, eh? Seriously, if you have to lie to support your claims, your claim must be shit. Do you seriously not understand that? And yes, I know that books say God though, but hear me out. What if book wrong? And yes, that even would hold true if books say book right. It's wrong about things within its own pages. Then it's claiming itself to be right, well that has to also be wrong, and thus everything contained within it is subject to the same wrongitude.
If living organisms cannot produce new genetic information, how can anything gradually change into something of higher intelligence or form or complexity?
You do know just repeating your lie and the consequences of said lie, if it happened to be true and not a lie, doesn't somehow magically make the lie that's a lie not a fucking lie, right? Although to be fair, you are a creationist, and if you didn't believe lies by repeating them over and over again, you probably wouldn't believe anything.
That is, how can anything evolve from an amoeba to a man without adding new genetic information?
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Seriously? So this isn't actually a video called Destroying Evolution in Less Than 3 Minutes. If it were to be based solely on original content, then it would be attempting and failing to destroy evolution in less than 2 minutes, maybe just 1, which is an even dumber thing to attempt and shows that all they have is lying about science and then just hammering those lies as hard as they can in an attempt to make it look like they actually have something of value to say and some actually substantive arguments when they got nothing.
The answer, of course, is that it can't. Plain and simple.
Okay, fine, let's play your little game. I've already established that you lot over there at No Answers in Jenny Boys are creationists, so tell me, without resorting to book though, how do you explain the diversity of life on Earth? Seriously, imagine that you didn't have the book at all and you can't reference it, you can't use it to presuppose anything, all you have is the evidence around you and you have to base your conclusions on that. How well can creationism explain, well, anything?
The answer, of course, is that it can't. Plain and simple.
See what I did there?
Now, some have speculated and they have imagined all kinds of things, and they brought in artists to produce creative renderings based on guesses.
Hot damn. You know, gish gallops are a bit of a specialty of mine, but the absolute machine gun fire rate of your claims is even a little bit hard for me and my almost certainly ADHD-addled brain to keep up with. Okay, so evolution has been based on people making guesses and then having artists create an approximation, apparently. Weird that, because I thought it was based on the mountains and mountains of evidence that prove evolution to be the fact that it is. But what do I know? I just base my understanding of science on facts, and not some shit one of my mates made up for no reason, like the moron that I am.
And they have been successful in telling a very convincing story that humans evolved from ape-like creatures, but...
You know what? I was giving him a hard time that that's all evolution was based on, but that's what he actually seems to think. That, or he's lying again. It's become so hard to tell with these people what they're really doing. I mean, some of them have to be liars, obviously, but then there are others who must earnestly believe this crap and think that in order to have scientific literacy, you just read some shit written by an idiot and then repeat it verbatim.
Those are just drawings, people. They're just stories.
Yes, and that's why nobody is using those to do anything even remotely involved in the actual science, you fucking clonk. Seriously, it's hard to believe that anyone could hear this and think, yeah, that sounds legit. That must be how they do science, with just drawings and stories. Wait a fucking second. That's what the Bible is, isn't it? Well, shit, it doesn't even have the drawings to go with, which is even worse. No wonder they think that's how everyone else acquires information. Unfortunately for them, it's not.
But what we really observe is humans are humans and apes are apes.
Oh, fuck me. That's so funny. I mean, humans are humans, but humans are also apes. And if what you say were the case, your taxonomy is probably all fucked up, since if only things can be that one thing, then no other primate can be an ape. They all have to be different things with no overarching descriptor. But that's not how this works. You don't get to decide that ape means something it doesn't just because you don't like the implications. And that kind of shit is exactly what makes you so staggeringly anti-science.
Now, if fact one buried evolutionary thinking deep into the Precambrian soil, this next fact...
Well, it fucking didn't, because it's not a fact. It's gibbering nonsense spewed forth by what I can only assume is some kind of AI in advanced stupid, designed to say the dumbest things possible. Christ, wouldn't it be hilarious and kind of logical if what they thought was God was actually some kind of extremely broken, high-tech space computer that was just shitting out nonsense? Explains it better than a perfect being that's perfect, for damn sure.
Fact 2 tosses so much sediment on it that not even the greatest team of paleontologists with the latest subterranean gizmo could dig up the remains.
That's a fucking bold claim right there, and a completely unnecessarily wordy one at that. Jesus, way to overcompensate, like, yo, this is such good evidence, it's gonna completely destroy you all forever, cause it's so smart, I swear. You don't even want to hear my big brain smart guy proof, cause your head will topple off your shoulders and you'll watch as your lifeless body melts away where it stands. It's just that good. Might as well stop the video. Please stop the video. Oh God, you're not going to.
Check this out. Never, again, never has it been observed that life can come from non-life. So,
God damn it, I knew it was going to be weak. but that's literally nothing. That is not a refutation of anything but your ability to understand what evolution says in any way, shape or form. You absolute frickin' clown. Seriously. And the apparent confidence you had that this was going to bury evolution forever just makes it all the more frustrating that what you are presenting as this slam dunk does absolutely nothing for you. Christ.
Here are two major scientific evidences against evolution.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, even if somehow that was actually a good point that made any sense, we have plenty of evidence that life could come from non-life, the major of which is there is life now in a universe that definitely started from non-life, aka the existence of life proves that life can come from non-life, because it fucking happened, you absolute moron.
I reiterate for clarity, life has never been observed to come from non-life, and there is no known, observable process by which new genetic information can be added to the genetic code of an organism.
I reiterate, lie, misrepresentation, lie, misunderstanding, outright fabrication, nonsensical gibberish, lie, scientifically illiterate garbage, nonsense, lie. Okay, did I get that down right? I swear these stenography skills are gonna be something to fall back on if this whole YouTube thing falls apart. I mean, look, I did it for Kent Hovind's most recent internet debate. I hate paying taxes and love prison food. I'm a goddamn master at this.
So, molecules to man evolution doesn't really make scientific sense.
I don't know, your brain is clearly the size of a molecule and yet you're able to walk around and talk and a bunch of other shit apparently. So it clearly has something going for it.
Yet we are all here, and life is all around us in various forms. Although evolution cannot account for this, the Bible can.
It really can't, and neither can you. But evolution absolutely accounts for the diversity of life, and there are plenty of plausible hypotheses that could account for the origins of life on Earth. All the Bible can do is claim that it totally knows a guy who did it, and he said he did it, so it must be true. I could say that, and it would be equally accurate. Although I wouldn't say that. I am not taking the blame for this Earth shit.
The Bible reveals that the all-powerful, all-knowing, supernatural God created the heavens and the earth out of nothing, and all life according to its kinds, that is, each with its own set of genetic information.
Okay then, and not to be a classic internet atheist TM, but prove God? If you can't, that's literally just a story. You know, that thing that you said means that evolution isn't true, but is apparently more than enough for your bullshit. Mega hypocrisy is one of the creationist superpowers after all.
So, again, what the Bible reveals makes sense of what we see and understand. Evolution does not. Enough said.
Alright, so apparently evolution has now been destroyed. Let me just check and... oh no, it's still happening. Damn it, guess God doesn't reel. Better luck next time.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was gonna tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the